So in this session, there will be four papers will be presented here. First paper will be presented by Sajid Ibn Hussain and Abdul Hakim Rakib. They will present on Chittagong Hill Flats dilemma, hegemonic statehood and the socio-economic marginalization. They are from the Department of International Relations at the University of Rajshahi. Second paper will be presented by Imam Muni, which will be on competing geopolitical narratives, students' perceptions of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Indo-Pacific strategies in Bangladesh. It will be an interesting paper because this is the age of maritime, and this is there is also rise of regional and extra-regional powers dominance in the Bay Bengal and Indo-Pacific region. So China is emerging. So it will be very interesting to listen how it plays works out, how the power dynamics works out here. Next, Mohammad Jahidul Hassan Noyon will be presenting on the geopolitics of energy in the Bay of Bengal, evolving trilateral competition for marine resources among Bangladesh, India, and Myanmar. So it will be also on a paper on maritime issue. Finally, Robin Bhattacharya and Mohammad Rifat Islam will be presenting on the tactical value of Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh's role in Indo-Pacific regional geopolitics. Who are from Shah Jalan University of Science and Technology. They came from Sylhet, they came from Gopalganj, they came from Rajshahi, and they came from Chittagong. So a big round of applause for all the participants who came from all the states here and presented their ideas. With the further ado, now I request the first two presenters, Sajid Ibn Hussain and Abdul Hakim Rakib, to present their ideas. Please, congratulate them.
Am I audible? Good afternoon, hello everyone. Try to imagine and empathize that your grandparents used to live on a land for generations, and one day the land has gone because the government decides who settle there. You have been seeing poverty and conflicts from your childhood. Your neighbors and your family's socio-economic condition has been very low since the last 54 years. Well, that actually the realities of the ethnic minority community, the Chakma, Marma and others who were living in the Chittagong Hill Flats, the CHT. That is an accident. According to the UNHCR, the CHT region have been one of the most socio-economically marginalized region in Bangladesh. And there is various reasons for that. Well, if you look at the history, first of all, this region has been an autonomous region under the British Empire. Then, it comes the Pakistan period when it was annexed in the Pakistani territory, though it was a predominantly non-Muslim land, consists of 98% those ethnic minority communities. In the liberation war of Bangladesh, we have seen complex contribution of these people. Some of them were anti-liberation war, some of them were pro-liberation war. They contributed in a war too. But in the context of current, if you see the Kukichini insurgency, the turmoil of northeast India, the civil war of Myanmar, the changing political situation of our country, the geopolitical dynamics, the CHT region have become one of the epicenters of our security. But that region has been one of the turmoil and unrest region in Bangladesh and since the liberation war in this till 54 years. Now, there are lots of reasons for that. Maybe you all have asked in your mind that why there is no stable or positive peace in the CHT region. There are lots of answers also, but we have taken the socio-economic dimension of this. Now, and throughout our paper, throughout our presentation, we will try to seek the answer to the question that how, historically, the formation of Bangladesh state that has the hegemonic elements in the state construction and how that intersect, how that link with the socio-economic marginalization of these ethnic minority communities. We are calling it marginalization because the Chakma, Marma, these ethnic minority communities have been facing a loss of vulnerability, and data will show that. You will listen to that too. But if we consider now, we have used the hegemony theory of Antonio Gramsci because that theory gives us a critical lens to understand the internal dynamics of the society. The Gramscian theory say that a hegemony, that's been a domination of one group to another is not always direct, active. It can be passive. It can be through, not through always force. It can be through, through the consent. What kind of consent? Consent to institution, consent to norm, through ideology. If you look back the history, from the formation of Bangladesh state, where the Bangladesh state from the basis of Bengali nationalism, because the leaders of Bangladesh after the independence imagined the Bengali and the 45 ethnic communities of Bangladesh, even they are lower in amount, our leaders imagine all of us in one single nationalistic discourse, that is Bengali nationalism. As just like the Benedict Anderson said that nation building is just an imagination, or it's an imagined community. So that imagination, actually our ethnic community people didn't fit in that nationalistic discourse. That's why they protested. They come out for the demand of autonomy. But our leaders rejected that. But our constitution, in our constitution, Article 1, 3, 6 and 9, it only stated that Bangladesh is a unitary state. Bangladesh and the basis is Bengali nationalism. The basis, the state language is the Bengali language. But our ethnic minority people was not accepted that. They came up with their demand. But our constitution also does have provision and article to protect, to recognize these people. The Article 23A, 26, 29, it has been clarified that these people have ethnic identity and so on. But if you look from the history, from the evidence of these ethnic minority people that Bengalis know very less, that protection, that recognition has been very, in paper, it's in paper. If you see from the 1980s when Zia Rahman introduced the Bangladeshi nationalism to give these people more space, but that was embedded with settlement, a political settlement of Bengali people in the CHT region. That was very unnatural. And that unnatural phenomena culminated in ethnic hatred, that culminated in Bhushan-Sara massacre when 1,400 Bengali people were killed by ethnic minority people, that culminated in militarization, where the 1/3 of the Bangladesh military deployed in CHT region. There has been human rights violation that is often that much. And that resulted in 1997 peace accord, where it was promised that these people will have their demands. There will be some autonomous institution to resolve their issues, their development, but that hasn't yet actually been put this 28 years. Now, and the reason behind that, from the constitution, from the policy implication of the Bangladeshi state, and from the discourse of Bengali nationalistic discourse, there has been a stereotype, there has been an othering of these people, and that's what scholar Amina Mohsin called that we have the Bangladesh state has been, they label them as a politicized ethnic minority people, and that's the reason basically for their ethnic, for their socio-economic marginalization that will be shown by the data.
If you look at the data, we will see that the poverty is higher than the national average in CHT. While the national average is 31.5%, in CHT the poverty rate is 51.8%. This is a huge gap, right? Why this is happening? Basically, this is happening because of economic opportunities. Secondly, economic opportunities. You can, if you see the report of 2023 ADB, you can see that mostly the economy of that region is agriculture. Though there are some other opportunities like tourism, but if we give attention clearly, you will see that the tourism and the transportation, everything is owned by Bengali, and they are not willing to give jobs to the ethnic people. Then comes the land disposition. In 1997, after the peace accord, a land dispute commission was formed to give solution to land disputes among the Bengali and the ethnic people. But it is sad but true that a report of Kodamalo shows that almost 23,000 cases are filed by the ethnic people regarding their lands, but that all are pending. So we can say that the land commission is not successful to give solutions. Then comes the education. If you see the Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics recent report, you will see that the education, they are saying that the education percentage is 67%. But ADB shows that the education percentage is only 3%. ADB shows that ADB is saying that although the primary education is improving, but no, they are not getting higher education properly. Though there are some quotas in higher education, but they are not getting it properly.
So as you can see, these people have half of these people living in poverty. They have land dispute issues. There's not yet resolved. These people have limited socio-economic opportunities. These people are living in misery. These people cannot learn the education by the language too. You know that. And moreover, there is very limited higher study rate. But lots of the ethnic minority, people study with us, but they're very limited amount. Have you ever asked why they're so limited? Why they're so less? Now, maybe that's the reason. One reason can be that our Bangladesh state has been looking on the CH2 region basically from the security lens. There has been militarization, there has been security arrangement, and there has been not much this socio-economic development. The data showed that. Now, maybe that's the reason, as the Amina Mohsin, the famous scholar quoted that, I quote unquote, the nationalistic state went ahead with the agenda of creating a homogeneous Bengali nation state, but it was not reflected in the political, in the institutional, and the cultural arena of the state. Now, our point is, if we don't give them autonomy, it's all right. If we don't give them indigenous recognition, it's all right. But why, being an equal citizen of Bangladesh, they are not getting the equal socio-economic development like all other country? And most importantly, socio-economic development is one of the most important conditions for stability and the peace, as the Johan Galton peace theory called. So now, let's conclude that. First of all, that without addressing that historical root, that historical hegemonic elements in our Bengali nation-state formation, without hearing to these people, without considering these ethnic minority people as our own, as our brother, how the dilemma of Chittagong hill tracts can be solved. You have the time to ponder, but that's it for us.